everything's a little bit different tonight because I am on the road and I am coming in from, I'm on the road, so it'll be an hour and a half at least before I get home. So if you give me a couple seconds, I'm going to get Jason on and then I'm going to mute myself so we can try to answer some questions, go back and forth, and go from there. So just bear with me for a second as we get this set up and ready to roll. So as you guys are coming in, definitely let us know where you're coming in from. And yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of a different format for us. So bear with me, guys. Make sure you guys can hear me all right. Do let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay.
Oh, yay. Good evening, guys. I know everybody's starting to come in. So I apologize if you can't hear me all that well. Jason's going to be on here in just a few seconds, and I will let him try to, we'll try to answer your questions back and forth while I concentrate on the road. So my husband was wondering if the American people can impeach a president. You know, I would have to really look into the constitutionality of it. I say for sure yes or no. I don't know yet. How you doing, Joe Glib? Welcome. As soon as Jason jumps on, guys, I will turn it over to him so people can actually hear me. I know people are probably trying their hardest to hear what I have to say, so. Yeah, I'm trying to be. Right now I'm hard at trying to get home. So, yeah.
Interesting. Can you guys hear me all right or no? Perfect. Still not seeing Jason, so hopefully he will join us very, very shortly. Yeah, I will do what I can. So. Yes. Why am I trying to go live while driving? I'm setting it up so I can get Jason on, and then actually go from there. That's kind of why I'm here. Otherwise, it probably would have been later on. But do I know why the helicopters were landing and taking off? Yes, they were in the middle of a supposed training exercise. I don't know 100% of what, why they'd be doing training exercises. I mean, that's something that they would normally do over at JBA, or Joint Base Andrews. So, yes, I'm doing my very, very best to talk and drive and keep an eye out for Jason. So, I'm dedicated. Yeah, I tried to be. Trying to do everything at once, and sometimes it's almost impossible to do. So, be careful. Yeah, if my vehicle wasn't such a wreck and I wasn't so embarrassed, I'd probably actually put it up on the dash and roll with it. But I need to get this pigsty cleaned out. I'm gonna just see. I think. Hold on a second. There. I text. So, okay. Just give me a heads up, Jason, when you're ready. So, questions that you guys might have, because I know everybody's just dying to be here. So, as far as trying to go through news articles and stuff right now, I unless Jason does, I can't really do it. We're working on that, Proud. So I think that's what people are working on right now. Yeah, guys, if you want to see how flat this area is, let's see if I can do this. So, guys, as you can see, South Dakota is about as flat as you can get it. I tried to get the thing to actually go around. So hopefully I can just do it this way. There we go. Yeah, it's a pretty flat area. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, so when it comes to flat states, I hear they say Oklahoma is really flat. It's not near as flat as South Dakota. I'm sorry to say, you Okies out there might actually agree with me. And just so you know, yes, it is Culver's, Jason, so you can be jealous. I'll be right back. Hello. Hello? Hello? Okay, guys, sorry about that. Can you see me now? Can you hear me? Yes. You good? Can you hear me? See me? Yes, no? Maybe? Okay, good. Sorry about that. I had a job that I was not able to get finished because for some reason I was having difficulties. So, yeah, that's kind of why I'm. That's kind of why I had to jump for a few seconds. People asking if I have my Pepsi. Yes, I always have it. But I also have a toffee mixer from Culver's. I knew I had to make Jason jealous somehow. So that's what I ended up buying for my dinner on the way home. Eye on the road. Yeah. See, the road's actually in front of me. You guys are just over here on the side to me a little bit. So I'm doing everything I can to keep it between the yellow lines. Culver's, yeah, definitely Culver's. Heard me hit the side. Yeah, I tend to like those rumbles. It does. I'll be back in a short minute. Hello, Mylan. Hello. Hello.
Oh, wow. Would you look at that? He let me in all on my own. Okay. What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, you had a great day. I was just typing a message to you all saying, little pig, let me in. And his answer was, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. But he let me in, so it didn't really work out too well for me.
I apologize, guys. I disappeared. Jason, thanks for coming to the rescue.
Well, dun, dun, dun.
I can't read their comments, so.
Okay, laugh out loud. Hey, Jason, laugh out loud. Looky, it Jason and Shane. Does that help?
Yeah, that works. Hopefully, I get no more phone calls.
The dynamic duo, the Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're showing more wounds. Oh, wait, hold on.
I can't. Yeah, I was gonna say. It looks.
No, there.
It looks like
See how
yours is
flat?
pretty horrible. Yeah. See how round?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you can call me an asshole later.
Yeah. Keep eating. Eating, videotape, driving. You're doing good. You're batting 1,000. Oh, and your Culvers. With your mouth full of food. All right, so what do we got going on tonight? Are we just doing a Q&A?
Yep, Q&A.
Holy cow, am I way big on this monitor? This needs to go away. My face is filling up the whole screen. Yeah, I absolutely sliced it off. That's what happens whenever you're trying to chop parsley, and when you chop the parsley, you move the parsley and not the knife.
That better, Jason?
No, it was me, not you. My face was taking up the whole screen.
Well, just shrink your ego a little bit. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that. Sam, all you need is a teacup dog bouncing all over the car and you'll be all set. Joe Glenn, let's talk about planes. Absolutely. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Air Force One being up over DC today and then coming up to Pennsylvania, doing a bunch of loops, doing a bunch of testing and a bunch of certification, and then coming back down. You want to talk about the C-17s and whatnot moving National Guard all over the U.S. for vaccinations. Do you want to talk about the C-17s going over into the Persian Gulf area, dropping off troops? Yes, Jason, PA. Absolutely. So Air Force One was up, went up and did a couple of what they call loops. Hold on, Parrot. I'll get right to you. I did a couple of loops over DC. Nothing major. Went up into PA and then did 5 or 6 track loops. And those 5 or 6 track loops, they look like oval track, like a racetrack. Basically, what they're doing is recertifying and calibrating things. And there's something up in PA that they're looking at as part of the test scope. So that's what they were doing today. King Mead, not a ton of activity, but I just wanted to make sure I got each portion out that I could as fast as I could. We've got C-17s moving troops all over the U.S. to start vaccination clinics that are being taken care of by the National Guard. So some of the guard that was in DC is being moved out, and some of the guard that's within their states are being moved around to assist with the vaccinations. They're using football stadiums now. They're using all kinds of stuff. So I've got some people that I work with in I think the PA area they said that they're using Heinz Field now too. So the troop movements into the Persian, it's more to build up our military presence in for Iran and Syria. That hasn't gone anywhere. Just because we haven't heard a lot, that doesn't mean it's stopped. It has not stopped at all. I will probably hear more in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, back at that again. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's see. They were moving tanks. Lori says they were moving tanks out of Fort Lewis today. Do you know, were they putting them on rail or were they putting them on trucks? Do I think that we will have a war? I think that if Biden doesn't get his ducks in a row, it absolutely will be. Guys, I don't think I've got the ability to share. No, I don't. To share the comments. So I will read the comments to make sure that those on YouTube get a chance to see it. Okay, so Lori, if they're putting them on rail, that means they're going for a much longer trip. They won't move tanks and armored vehicles to on short trips on the back of trucks. So it could be, it depends on what direction they're going, would be my answers to what they're doing with them. Joe Glenn, they have gotten permission from the NFL to use, I want to say, and I hate to say it like this, but 17 stadiums in the across the U.S. for vaccinations. So it's coming. They're trying to max vaccinate. Why does the military need help to give shots out? I'll get to that one in 1 second. Why does the military need to help? Because so in the overall view that they're trying to produce is that the emergency rooms, ICUs, cannot handle doing both the vaccinations and treating coronavirus patients. When in reality, the are low. The administered patients are low for the ICUs now.
Admitted.
Thank you. The number of admitted patients, that's what I'm looking for, are low. So they're not necessarily going to try and pull more from our tired nurses and staff, hospital staff. I got to that one. Puck, thanks for the call today. It was really good. I appreciate it, guys. Puck and I probably had a good 45-minute conversation today. Really good guy, really good conversation. Sees things in a lot of ways that we're all seeing it and is looking for more information. So if you guys happen to have stuff, by all means, reach out. I've put them on the Signal group. Help them along. All right. I don't think that the tanks and whatnot are going to be for a civil war. I know that this country is close. Joe Glenn, the question actually was, yes, I thought of war, civil. I don't think that I know that we're close. I don't think that we're that close yet. I don't think that Department of Homeland Security, so DHS, is going to allow it to get out of hand. Nurse Bear, we're seeing a lot of activity in the skies up out of Oak Harbor. I don't know where Oak Harbor is. If you can give me a state, I'll take a look and maybe help fill you in a little bit.
I believe Oak Harbor would be in Washington, if I remember right.
State?
Yeah.
There is a base that actually there's a couple of pretty big bases up there for obvious reasons. And if you guys don't know what obvious reasons are, basically the northwest portion of the country is open for a lot of different things because Russia is close and because Canada is close and whatnot. So we've got some pretty big bases up there, and they do a ton of training activity up there.
You guys, I will pop in every now and again. I'm trying to focus on driving, so I'm going to be dealing with putting the comments on the screens, and I'll pipe in every now and again as well.
Okay. Guys, I'm falling way far behind on your comments, but I want to make sure that if there's something that you guys need me to cover, I'm trying to get to. So give me a second here. Sam's comment from 729. Our unit is so low that they're thinking of closing it all together. I agree with you 110%. But in the things that they're trying to play out, it's not they're trying to say that there's still a lot of patients, a lot of admitted patients. Lori, we also had anti-extremist training on base today. We were told to tell on people if we see or hear anything. So here's where a lot of that problem is right now. The extremists, okay, they have included pretty much anyone who's not a rhino type Republican in that group. So they're trying to, and when I say they, the government is trying to utilize their training on anything. Basically, what they don't want to have happen again is another January 6th. The problem is, and guys, I am not advocating violence in the least bit by this statement. The problem is being able to define, just like whenever we were fighting with ISIS, the difference between the extremists and the people who are legitimately trying to celebrate or what's it called whenever you have
exercise their freedoms.
Well, not just that, but what were they calling Antifa doing when they were
just a peaceful protest?
Protesting? That's it. It's hard to define protesters from extremists. So that's where our government is very confused right now. Crap. Holy cow. Sorry, it just jumped right to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Oh, Cobra West. Yeah, okay, yeah. So definitely that's exactly what's going on up there. Sorry guys, I'm trying to play catch up here on the comments.
And I think a lot of the states, if you look per capita, a lot of the states are doing exactly that. They are way over reporting. But guys, if you look at the CDC guidance for reporting of COVID-19, they don't have to. They legally do not have to, according to the CDC, drop a COVID positive. If they test negative twice, they still don't have to drop that from their rolls for 1 month after the second negative COVID test. So you're talking lots of new cases, and people are getting tested 2-3 times a month, and even more than that. And every time they get tested, what's going on is they are actually being tallied as a new COVID positive, even though they're not new. They're testing again to see if they still have it, and it's coming up positive. They're still popping for a COVID positive test, and that's how they're keeping the numbers way up there.
Well, here's a like here in Illinois, our numbers are starting to spike again, or what they're calling is spiking. So we were down at 1 point something percent on a positive report. Now they're up at 2.7 or 2.9% as of yesterday, and they're calling that a spike. So if you guys don't believe that they're trying to scare everybody into doing this, you're crazy. You know, whenever Illinois was at its worst, we were at 17 or 18%, and that wasn't called a spike per se. It was a gradual increase, but yet a 1% increase is called a spike. Doesn't make sense. And our not hotels, our hospitals are very low on COVID cases right now, but yet the news is still chirping away about it. Proud Shane's probably about 2 hours from home, so he probably won't make it before the end of this.
I'm 45 minutes now.
Oh, okay.
So there's a possibility I might make it right at the tail end.
You want me to talk for 45 minutes straight?
Oh no, I'll pop in every now and again and comment. But I mean, guys, people are taking me as anti-vaxxer. I am more for informed consent than anything else. And because the vaccine is not under the CDC regulations and under the FDA regulations and all that, the vaccine, as they're calling it, is not even a true vaccine until it's been through stage 3 trials. And the stage 3 trials are us, the American people. And my grandpa, he went and got the vaccine, and he kind of criticized me for literally losing my job because I wasn't interested in getting it. I just told my grandpa, I said, if they can't call it a vaccine per the FDA rules, why would I put that in my body? It's an experimental.
Right.
And yeah, he had to agree with me. He said if I would have realized it was still experimental, I wouldn't have done it either. My mom and dad were going to get it. I told them, and then I verified. I showed them, and my mom's 60, my dad's 57. So, I mean, they're getting up there in age, but they just, when it comes to medical stuff, So long as I can prove to them the documentation and have the documentation to back it up, they'll listen to what I have to say. And that's basically what I had to show them. And mom was supposed to go in and get her shot the next day, and she's called her work and said, I'll lose my job before I take that experimental. So, guys, I'm not anti-vax if it's proven and it's proven safe and effective, and they can tell me exactly what's in it. Then sweet. They haven't proven that safe and
That far down
effective.
that road. I'm not even going for that far
What's
down
that?
that road. My opinion is I'm going to give every single person who can listen the amount of information that I have found. And if you want to do it, that's on you. You're an adult, you have your own mind, you're more than welcome to do whatever it is you want to do. But here's the thing. If there's fallout from it, don't complain to me because I've given you what I can find the information is. I feel bad for you, but sorry. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's why I am as well. There's something called informed consent. We're informing people. If they want to listen, they still get it, and they want to get it. If there's negative, well, we've covered those negatives. So
Right. Lori, I think they're for herd vaccine. Shane, I think they were talking about 75% they wanted to get to be able to consider it herd.
yeah, they're saying 75 to 80% for herd immunity.
So, and I think we're only at 10 or 20% total right now.
No, we're at 36%.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, I just read the number this earlier today. So
Let's see here.
as far as okay, so they're deliberately or go ahead.
They're not telling healthcare workers what it really is. They're either deliberately or neglectfully misleading the American public, and neither one looks good on public health organization.
I would agree with that. And
I
think, quite honestly, go ahead.
I think right in the beginning, when they first came out with that vaccine, they were talking, or they had white paper on it on what the ingredients were and what the effects on the body were from each ingredient. But I think that was only the first two that were out, Moderna and what was the other one?
Pfizer and Moderna.
Moderna.
But I can assure you, through the pharmacy, when I worked at the pharmacy, I actually did vaccinations, and I was one who received the vaccination, all the vaccines when they'd come into the pharmacy. And I can assure you that they never had a white paper with them. They never had their inserts. That's a fact.
Which is an illegal way to transport.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a white paper or an insert with each and every single vial.
Right.
So old and there's fallout from. Yeah, I'm not going to fault people for getting it.
No.
I mean, we see the thing I have a problem with is a lot of these liberals out there really will go out and say, "Hey, is my body my choice when it comes to abortion?" Vaccine in their body, but now you're not a believer in science.
Right.
That's I think that's the biggest hypocrisy that you can throw out there.
Puck, Proud Patriot Labs often miss on the flu vaccine, predicting the what will be the predominant strain. I agree. Uh, I haven't gotten flu vaccines in ever, actually, not once. My kids got them once when they were real little and were sicker than a dog within a week after getting it, and still got the winter flu that was going around. And at that point, I said, no, never again.
Oh,
Yeah, I was going to that one next. Lori, lots of talk about travel passports out there. So right now, the closest one I think is New York. But I don't know how close they legitimately are to having that done.
they're saying April 2nd.
I know where I work, which will remain completely unnamed, they're talking about creating an app for tracking your vaccines, not just COVID, but also flu, anything else. Like your, what's the one metal shot that you're supposed to get every 10 years?
Tetanus.
Yes, to track that too.
Yeah, they asked me if I got a tetanus when I nearly chopped my finger off.
Yeah, I
I,
didn't even
I
know.
I just laughed at him. I was like, no. The last time I got my tetanus shot was cripes almost 15 years ago.
No, I got my tetanus like 6 or 8 years ago. I'm good with that. But I didn't even go for my thumb. Funny story with that. My wife's Italian. So she's like, you want me to pour wine on it? And I'm sitting there holding it and whatnot. And she pours that wine on it. And because of how deep it is, I if I were a cat, I would have been hanging from the ceiling. And it didn't help at all.
Well, what did I tell you, Jason? After that,
Well, yeah. Hindsight being 2020 though. Proud wants to know, does your shoulder hurt?
does my shoulder hurt? I don't have no problems with my shoulder. It is my finger.
So it was King Me, it was way worse than that. Way worse.
He probably took a 70-pound load off.
I'll put it to you this way. So I got shot in the chest with a BB and it embedded. I took a knife and I dug it out. No problem. No pain. Nothing. I have scars all over my arms from doing work and different things like that. Never once. And I mean, I've gotten some real deep ones. I've got one on my right elbow where glass sliced through my elbow and had to have 24 stitches. Nowhere near as much pain as this was. It was crazy. So, Lori, the talk. Oh, The talk of the radio driving home from work was that travel is a privilege. That's scary. That is seriously scary.
Yep.
Proud, I agree with you 100%. This Biden needs to go, but I don't want Kamala in right behind him.
If Kamala gets
Do what, Shane?
in, we're FUCK'd
Yeah.
big time.
Evening
There's
Q.
somebody that I haven't.
I
There's
know.
somebody we
It's been
haven't
a
seen in a
while.
while.
Even air travel. You know what? Listen, if I'm paying my ticket and everything else, no, they should not. They haven't needed it before. There's no reason why they need it now.
Yeah, I think it's a big. Once it all takes place, guys, it's going to be a massive because there's no reason that these companies need protect the information.
So, Sam, I'm not going to read it out loud, and Shane, don't put this comment on, but she said something about along the lines of extra protection for Kamala. You do realize that I'm almost positive the shot that she got was a retractable needle. She never actually even got the shot, from what I understand.
No, she got a saline. She got the shot. But she got a saline solution instead of the actual vaccine. That's what they do with pretty much all government officials. Did you hear
Ridiculous. Yeah, I heard you.
me? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting into a spot where it might get a little spotty on me. So
I think the world's in trouble if Kamala gets in. Q, I've been there, and it's something you got to fight through. Q says I lost faith in all of this, and I'm telling you, it's something you've got to fight through, and just continue to believe. It's a hard thing to believe in. It's a hard thing to realize. It's a hard pill to swallow across the board, but you can keep up that faith, man. I'm telling you.
there's a reason if people understood how much flack I get every single time we do a cast.
Oh, I get it too. I get it
Right
too.
back.
Let me ask you guys something. And this is everybody who's online, which I'll tell you in 1 second. 30 people online right now. Okay. Has anything, and I know I'm quoting Trump in this, but has anything that's been worth having been not worth the fight to get? Whatever it might be, your first vehicle, your first brand new car, your first $100 bill, your first meal that you cooked on your own. It's very difficult to earn things. And unfortunately, I think that's what we're doing right now is we're earning what's going to be on the backside of this. Yeah, think about this. So, guys, if you go to school for 12 years, right? And then you go to college for another 4, 8 years after that, you've got your degree, you're moving on, you know, and you've got some value to it. So it's a hard pill to swallow whenever you look at the picture as a whole, you know. But I'm telling you, it's hard to stay with it. So um, Bogan, I don't know if I pronounced your name right or not, or butchered it or whatever. Um, I'm still hoping for a Trump miracle. I don't think we're far from it, to be honest with you. I am not going to promise you guys anything. I'm not going to promise you dates. I'm not going to promise anything like that. I've told you guys before, but I don't think we're far off. Q, we went over some arrests earlier this morning. Shane can talk about that. No tribunals that I know of as of right now.
Nothing that I've seen. We're going to start up with the tribunals again in May. So the second week of May is the first week that I am actually seeing any tribunal sessions start happening again. So I'm sure it's. And people are asking, are they gonna if somebody's undergoing a tribunal, it's going to show up in the MC.mil database and it's going to be on the calendar. So if it's not there, it's not going to be. They're not actually going under a. And I'm actually looking for like the war crimes for Nuremberg, the international courts, but I haven't found an accurate calendar on that. So unless Jason has.
No. Bogan. If you're from Louisiana, maybe French. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. Biden is Obama. It's funny you say that because Psaki actually admitted to Biden and Obama talking on a multiple time a day basis. So I personally think that Obama really is trying to run things through Biden. Proud. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I am not going to put my name out there without having black and white proof. That's something I've tried very, very hard to do, is not give someone something without having validated the information. Okie, I did not see your question. Let me scroll back. Shane, if you want to take that one, what you just said, or the one that you've got up.
Which one?
Conservatives need a minority candidate.
Oh, yeah. I think Trump will ultimately run again in 2024, and Candace Owens is already discussing a possibility of running for president herself. And if she doesn't make the cut for president, I have a feeling she's going to be the vice. So I think we'll have kind of the best of both worlds.
Okie, I do not see your question. If you can copy and paste it back down, I'll take a look for it. I agree with you, Shane, on that. Are you serious?
This is what's wrong with the current administration and these liberal governors nationwide. They are doing these things all the frickin' time now. I heard stories coming out of California and some out of New Mexico where they're doing the exact same thing, Jason. This isn't the first time I've heard it.
Well, I told you what I heard about the bases.
Yeah. So, guys, I am 12 miles from home. Don't ask me how fast I'm going. I won't answer. Well,
the funny
Candace,
thing is you're going to walk through the door and get bombarded.
no, I'm smart enough to park across the street until I'm done. Will Candace be old enough to run? Yeah, she is a year older than me. So, and her birthday's in March. And so long as she's old enough to run, so long as she is old enough before if she was to win the presidency on November, whatever day it is this time around, so long as she is old enough on that day, which is 35 years of age, if
I think it's inauguration day, not election.
If I remember right, it's election day. I might be wrong, and people have told me that I'm wrong, but on that, I believe it is election day.
Puck, I'm pretty sure Trump will run again just for revenge sake. And I think when he does return, you're going to see him put the step on the gas pedal on changes.
Oh, I think, well, and see, Biden opened himself up big time when he used to criticize Trump for ruling by executive order. He said only dictators do that. So the campaign ads are writing themselves. Every gaffe that he makes, every statement that he makes, Republicans are just going to use it and fuel that fire. And by the time the election happens, there's not going to be a single. They don't have to worry about having a wide field of candidates to run against Biden, because it's usually the incumbent that is the person who controls the field.
Right.
And they just get the automatic nomination. I don't think it's going to happen with Trump. Trump is going to literally have to fight all the way back through all the rhinos and all that again, and just slice through them. I don't think it's even going to be a function. There won't be a functional debate because they will not put Joe Biden on stage with Donald Trump again. Not after 4 years of gaffing his way through his presidency.
No way. Proud, He will. I truly think he will run again, but I think if he comes back right now and everything is found out to be true, it won't be considered a full second term. His second term will be 2024. Kat, thanks for resending that question. I personally do not know, but I can tell you that the ship's call sign was H3RC. H3RC. I have not tracked it to see where it was, but it's as simple as going to the ship website and you can type that in and track it. Okay, same for you. If you need to know that information, I think Shane still has it up on the website under the resources.
Okay. Can you hear me, Jason? All right, still?
Yeah, lost video, but I can hear you.
Okay. About Dr. Fauci and Dr. Briggs. Two self-promoters trying to reinvent the history to cover for their bad instincts and faulty recommendations, which I fortunately almost overturned, or almost always overturned. They have bad policy decisions that would have left our country open to China and the others, closed to reopening our economy and years away from an approved vaccine, putting millions of lives at risk. Yeah, it goes on. There's three.
Shane,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me quantify what you're talking about. So everybody knows Shane is reading a statement from Donald Trump that just came out 8 minutes ago. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna just post a link. I'm gonna just post a link because it's too hard to do while driving.
Okay.
So there, everybody can go and read it.
Actually, you know what I can do? Maybe.
Put it up on screen.
Yeah, give me a second.
Hey, Jason, I can see the water tower.
Oh, so you're almost there.
Yeah, I only have I'm definitely not doing the speed limit.
This is
Whoops.
big. Physically big.
Yes, it is.
I'll put that up.
What's that?
It's physically big. It would be very difficult to read.
Why don't you just download the copy of the picture from the Telegram?
I did, and
because it's a picture. Oh. Okay.
Joe Glenn. So first, hold on, Joe Glenn. Let me get to that. Proud. I agree with you 100%. He left it go so people see how life would be and wants our world to be safe. Joe Glenn, can we talk about the election and where everything is? Arizona is still pulling their audit. Georgia's audit starts Wednesday. Wisconsin's audit starts Wednesday. Michigan's decisions should be in at the end of this week. North Carolina, Shane, am I right on that one?
For Michigan,
No, North Carolina.
North Carolina, I'm still looking for information on all their
Okay.
stuff. But yeah, I am hearing rumors that they are doing an audit as well. But by the end of this audit thing, I think it'll be a foregone conclusion that Dominion Systems is dead.
Yeah. Puck, there are still, if you heard what I just said, there are still quite a bit of avenues open to get this thing ironed out and what happened ironed out.
But I mean, coming from a purely legal standpoint, I mean, when you come from a purely legal standpoint, yes, he has. They still have plenty of cases that are still wide open. But again, looking at it from a election standpoint and from a what everybody has called a settled election, there's no. This is not even close to being settled, and I don't believe it is.
No, I think it's far from being settled. Day I put that in the Signal group, so you know. And Peaches, I see. So Port Okie, Peaches pulled it up, and it was in China, Taipei, Yantian, Tianyong, and then stuck in the Suez, and then in Rotterdam right now.
Oh, so they actually did make it to Rotterdam.
Yeah. Proud he is not a Biden supporter. I'm telling you that for fact. Kingy, I don't know. So the question is, do we know if they've started unloading the containers off Ever Given and inspecting them? I don't know that answer. There are a lot of rumors that I've heard, but I don't want to spread rumors.
They cannot start unloading
Shane.
for 48 hours after hitting port. 48 hours for investigators to get in.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Everybody
You're
hear me?
right, Peaches. Rotterdam is on the 31st, so tomorrow. Should be there by 0200, which would be 2 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning. Right? No, not tomorrow morning. Is it tomorrow morning? No. That would be Wednesday morning. Okay, so Puck. My biggest fear is that more damage to conservative causes because we lose the middle. They don't want another January 6th. I agree 100%. Just like we talked about. I agree with you 100%. They don't want another January 6th. We don't want another January 6th. They, the Democrats, which I will lay money on it. At some point in the future, it will come out that Nancy Pelosi had something to do with the 6th. Okay? With that said, we, meaning the conservative Republicans, do not want another one. The Democrats, which I believe are the ones to stir the pot and create the 6th, will be the ones who will do it again. It is their MO. It is what they have done in the past. They stir that pot and piss everyone and their brother off, and they run it.
And
So
anybody with a half a brain and a lick of common sense, I mean, even on the alt-right movement, you look at every message board. Do not go to the Capitol. Do not go to the Capitol. Do not go to the Capitol. If you go to the Capitol, follow the rules. I mean, everybody and their dog were saying the same thing.
right.
But what do you have? You have people like that Sullivan character who literally admitted to the feds that they were there to film and instigate. Well, when you come out and admit that, the Democrats are going to still try to run they're going to still try to run it's a crisis and the conservatives were the ones who did it and yada yada yada. Guess what? I don't buy it, for one, and I think what people are going to see is they're going to see a massive blowback as soon as it comes out. I believe it's going to be a massive blowback that conservatives were not the cause of it, and to lay the blame right where it's supposed to be.
So, is it Bougain? Hold on. Yeah, Bougainville. I apologize right up front. I'm sorry. I know I'm probably absolutely killing that name. I apologize. Nancy was way more than complicit. Way more than complicit. From what I've seen and heard, and again, I don't have the black and whites to pull up to you guys to show you. However, she had meetings with people prior to it. Okay. And there was money floating around. And a lot of it. So she was way more than complicit.
So if you really want to get into the brass tacks, she received security. Okay, guys, one thing I can tell you for a fact, she received security briefings in regards to the potential threats of violence.
10 days. 10 days before it happened.
And guys, if it would have been a conservative and we heard that there was going to be violence and we didn't do anything, you're dang right. We would be absolutely crucified. We would be absolutely crucified if we had if we would have gotten briefings and not done anything about it.
Right. Right.
So do I 100% believe that she had a lot to do with it? Yes. In fact, I know for a fact there was at least 29 emails between her and the JSA, or Joint Chiefs of Staff, and between her and the Capitol Police.
Well, the
There,
MSA was involved in that too.
the what's that?
The MSA for whatchamacallit was involved in that too.
Yeah.
The MSA actually asked for the guard to be ready, for the guard to be there, and to have extra backup. And she denied it.
Yeah. So I mean, quite honestly, when people say that it was a setup, it was a setup, and conservatives don't have a choice. But guys, I just got home, and my wife needs to talk to me,
She caught
of
you.
course,
I told you she was going to catch you. You
and she caught me.
busted.
So my wife does need to talk to me. So we're gonna wrap this up. I will be back at 10 a.m. in the morning, just like before. So guys, remember, each and every single one of us, we have a story to tell, and we have people to tell it to. You guys have a pen and a microphone, use it. The silent majority can no longer stay silent. God bless you guys. God bless the United States of America. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Have a great night, everybody.